Every week, I try to pick a different streaming service to talk about and recommend things to or picks for you to watch. This week, I have JBuckStudios helping me do recommendations as well. He will be on later in the show. There will be chapters in this video, so you can check that out or just skip to him if you're here just to watch him if you would like to. But first, I'm going to go through some selections from Disney Plus, and there's actually some cool stuff. This is the first Halloween we've had with Disney Plus. So it's interesting to talk about all the Halloween programming or horror programming we can talk about that Disney is presenting. So first, I wanted to recommend, it's sort of two things, but it has the same title, but they're actually in good quality too. Recently, I watched it with my daughter Sophie. It's actually a Tim Burton movie that I've heard a lot of people defending, mostly because Disney Plus is really promoting it, but it is Frankenweenie, the feature from 2012, the stop-motion feature. I think it is probably a good return to form for Tim Burton. It's not as good as his peak in the 80s and 90s, but it's still really good, and it's a good way to introduce kids to Tim Burton, as well as they do have a short, which I haven't watched, that they made of stop-motion Frankenweenie, and they have the original live-action short with Shelley Duvall that Tim Burton made as well in better quality. So I grew up with that short, actually, because I like Tim Burton so much. I rented it when I was a kid. So if you ever wanted to watch the short, the live-action short with Shelley Duvall in it, that Frankenweenie is based on, you can, as well as the feature from 2012 with stop motion. That's really good. I'll talk about a few more horror things. There's a big thing I want to talk about. They have two shorts. So basically, let me get to this. Disney Plus has these things, collections, and if you go to the search bar, you'll see them, and they have things like The Simpsons and Toy Story and Forky Asks a Question. You click on them and it'll give you like playlists of various things, and they have one for Halloween. They don't have as many shorts like I talked about. They don't have Runaway Brain. They don't have Skeleton Dance, which is a silly symphony that Iwerks did. That would be nice. They don't have it. But the two they do have, I've watched, and I recommend the two classic ones, I want to say, I've watched, and they're really great. Those are Trick or Treat, which has Huey, Dewey, and Louie and a witch playing pranks on Donald Duck. That's really cool. And Lonesome Ghosts, it's kind of goofy Donald and Mickey playing like Ghostbusters in the 40s. It's actually really fun. I like that one. I grew up with that one. I remember that one. And they're both really fun. They're worth checking out. Check out that collection, the Halloween collection, as well as they have all the Treehouse of Horrors up to a certain point. So if you ever wanted to watch like just the classic ones you remember as a kid, or a certain Treehouse of Horror, you can. They also have a Treehouse of Horror collection, which is just the one playlist, so whatever. And in that collection, they have America's Funniest Home Videos Halloween special. So if you need that in your life, that's there too. And they have Hocus Pocus, but I feel like you all know about that, and I think JBuck's talking about that as well. So before I move on to other things, this one show has basically taken over our house, and it's called Bluey. It is about a family of, I think they're dogs. I'm not sure, but it's really cute, like family shows. They're about 7 minutes. My daughter absolutely loves them. It's about a family. It's Mom, Dad, Bluey, and Bingo, and it's just really nice, cute family entertainment. It's really wonderful. I really recommend it. I might even do a review at some point, but it is it's an Australian show. I think it's not really made by Disney. I think they just bought the streaming rights, but she loves it. She'll sing along to the song where it's like Mom, Dad, and she'll point to me because I'm like her dad and stuff, and like, you know, Bluey, and do all this. I hear about it. All her friends love it. I don't know how this show happened. I don't know. It is really cute. It is really nice. It's a wonderful show to put on for your family because it doesn't annoy you. It's not too bad or anything like that. It's just like good, like almost King of the Hill type, like family domestic life stuff, and it's just really wonderful. So I would actually recommend Bluey. I think it's really cool. Maybe I'll do a review of it at some point. But if you've never seen Bluey before, it's worth watching a few. It's just pleasant, nice, good time, positive kind of show. They also, since I did do every ABC Saturday morning show ever, they have Schoolhouse Rock. Schoolhouse Rock is really great. Obviously, if you ever wanted to check out Schoolhouse Rock, you can. They have the Rocketeer show, the Disney Junior show, which I did a review of forever ago. Sophie and I watched that. That has finally made its way to Disney Plus. It's really great for little girls. It's a good, positive action show. I quite liked it. It's just like a fun adventure show, and actually it has some continuity to it, actually, and does it in a really organic way, so I recommend that. X-Men 2 has made its way to Disney Plus, or at least is being promoted more. It's probably one of the best X-Men movies, if not the best one. If you've ever wanted to check out X-Men 2 or revisit it, it is on Disney Plus, as well as apparently they're in the Marvel section. They're promoting the old other non-Disney made Marvel movies as Marvel Legacy, so whatever. And then finally, two things. One, in terms of the ABC Saturday morning shows, they have Disney's Doug there. If you've ever wanted to see what Disney did with Doug, which was not as good as the Nickelodeon's Doug, you can check that out. And then the last thing is they have... I wanted to pick another short that is unrelated to all this, which is Tin Toy, one of the classic Pixar shorts, which I've talked about when I did that 1988 series. It's a great little short. It's fun. It's on Pixar section. Check it out. It's classic animation and actually really important and influential. So now, all right. So I'm going to cut to JBuckStudios. Thank you very much for him for being on the show, and we can listen to his recommendations. And I will be back right after this. Thank you very much, Jared, for being on, and let's enjoy his picks.
Yeah. Is the camera on yet? No. We'll do that later. Jim, thank you so much for having me over on your channel to give your viewers and other people out there great picks to watch this weekend on Disney Plus. What to binge, what to sit on your couch, stay at home and watch this weekend. But before I get into mine, again, a big thank you to you, Jim. But also, I am Jared Bucknell from JBuckStudios here on YouTube. I'm doing reviews, shenanigans, reactions, all sorts of that stuff. But that's aside from the point. We're talking about Disney Plus recommendations, and I have about 5 or 6 and then a few honorable mentions to really go into. But the first one is 1995's Heavyweights from Disney, obviously Disney Plus, but it's these kids, they go off to fat camp. Ben Stiller is a ridiculous camp counselor, and it is literally, I think the reason I love it is because I grew up with it. It is 90s nostalgia, very quotable as well. I know that a lot of people probably haven't seen this one, but highly recommend checking it out because it is goofy, it is weird, and it is a perfect 90s time capsule. Now, jumping over to animation, A Bug's Life. You know, everyone knows Pixar, they love their films and everything like that, but this one was one that really stuck with me. Obviously, it takes that Seven Samurai story, boils it down to a more digestible medium for kids and family members and whatnot. But Flick, you know, going off on an adventure, finding these other weird insects, you know, there's Hopper as well. It does have a little bit of frightening aspects to it, but this is another fun Disney Pixar movie that is very nostalgic. Go out, check that one out. This one I think is an overlooked one that a lot of people need to probably give a little bit more praise to. This one's probably the newest on the list, but The Greatest Showman. Hugh Jackman, Zac Efron, Zendaya, a whole bunch of other people in this. Obviously, it's taking that story of B.T. Barnum, which I will say they gloss over what actually the history around this character is, but it's the music. This movie is strictly watchable for the music and the dancing and the choreography. Like, this is one of those movies that after I watched the first time, I went back and watched it probably a handful of other times and listened to the music for months and months and months. Like, this one is one that if you are a music fan, if you want an upbeat kind of fun evening, you know, kind of moving and grooving on your couch a little bit, The Greatest Showman is the one for you because the music is wonderful. I'm going to say Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, the very first one, because, you know, you get Johnny Depp in there as Captain Jack Sparrow, you get everyone else, Barbossa, you get the beginning of this essentially long drawn out series and whatnot, but also it is probably one of the more creepier ones of this series, of this franchise, essentially. And also with Halloween coming up, I think that this is a perfect spot for this movie because, like I said, you know, with the curse and the underwater scenes and the moonlight with the skeletons and whatnot, it is a little bit frightening and it does capture that kind of spooky feel. So I think that this is a great time to watch this movie if you haven't seen it in a while. But before I wrap this up and throw it back over to you, Jim, I will say, you know, Halloween is coming up. It's the spooky season. So I wanted to kind of give a few recommendations for spooky movies if you wanted to get in that Halloween feel. And there's 3 different ones. I would say that Hocus Pocus, A Nightmare Before Christmas, and also, I guess, the franchise or the trilogy of Halloweentown. I'll encompass all of those to, you know, make them stand up against what the other ones. But yeah, if you're looking for a Halloween kind of movies, spooky feel and whatnot, each one of these movies has a great aspect to it. It is fun, it is you know, I like costumes. I like people dressing up. I like that spooky feel and whatnot. And these 3 movies, I think, encapsulate that perfectly. So if you're in that spooky Halloween mood this weekend, check out one of those 3 for sure. Anyways, though, those are my recommendations for this weekend on Disney+. Hopefully you go and check one of those out. Otherwise, I'm sure Jim has even better recommendations over there. But Jim, thank you so much again for inviting me over to this. You know, again, you guys can find me here on YouTube at JBuckStudios. And Jim, I'm going to throw it back to you to finish out this video. Are we clear?
All right. Thank you, Jared. Thank you very much for those. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed our Disney Plus picks. I hope we gave you something cool to watch on Disney Plus and gave you something to do during this quarantine life. Check out JBuckStudios and subscribe to his channel. He's putting out some good content there, and he's a worthy channel to be watching currently. Thank you very much for watching. Please tell me what your pick would be to watch on Disney Plus in the comments below. And thank you very much for watching.